And this year she has asked me to tackle this lovely little end table. Today, going to get started stripping it. So I've just applied one medium wet coat, and we're going to let this sit for a good 20 minutes or so. I'm hardly having to put any pressure on at all. I'll just give you an idea of just how easily this is to remove. Getting rid of all this stuff around the edges. But patience wins out in the long run. It's not, a lot of times it can be difficult just to find exactly the right shaped tool. And you'll see that, I know it doesn't just peel off like it does with a scraper, but as I start to work in all these funny little shapes, you'll see that it is coming off. See just how easily the paintbrush that's with stiff bristles actually gets in there and removes that surface. Okay, so what I'm also using here is a small stainless steel brush, and that, as you will see, although it makes a bit more of a mess, it gets us into those last final little creases. We have to dive in there with the green scrubbies. And we need the paper towel to absorb and soak up all of this and remove it from the wood before it starts to dry. Because although we have loosened up this paint, if we let this dry, it will dry hard as a rock again. Alright, well there we have it. Our second leg is about done. It is time to make a little bit of a mess and get on with washing all of this down with a mild concentration of TSP. After 24 hours of drying, it is time for an up-close inspection. The extra attention paid to the tight crevices has paid off. The stiff bristle brush and the small stainless steel wire brush have eliminated any trace of the white paint and, what I suspect, was an original varnish finish. This result is going to make the sanding phase much easier and somewhat quicker. After our second coat of clear, we're now ready to wet sand. This is 400 grit paper. And gently moisten. It's a bit of a messy job, but we go strictly with the grain. You can feel the sandpaper gripping the table, and that's what we want to feel and keep it nice and clean. You can't really see the clear that you're removing, but as you're sanding, you can feel the difference as you break through the top layer. And around these edges is where there's a little bit of extra buildup from the paintbrush that I want to eliminate, just to make it look the best that it possibly can. You just take your time and work a small area. It feels slippery, and then all of a sudden it starts to grip, and that's when you know you've cut through the top layer. Now, I'm not applying very much pressure. I'm just allowing the weight of the tool and the sandpaper to do its job. There were two small imperfections in the top of the table, which I'm also attempting to fill with this extra coats of clear by sanding between the coats. We can flatten those out, level them out somewhat. Okay, this is feeling really good. These two imperfections here are almost completely gone. And so is this little one over here. Yeah, okay, we're going to let this just dry up for a bit, and then we'll get one more top coat put on. Looking good. And one last time before we top coat, we just give a quick wipe and dry with a lint-free rag, just to make sure we've removed any bits of oil or grease from our fingers. Okay, we are ready to apply top coat. We will gently stir our top coat, no shaking. We do not want to create any bubbles in this semi-transparent clear. So this brush has extremely fine bristles. This top coat actually levels out very well. So I'm going to be cautious next to my edges, just to not put too much material on. Well, this is quite a heavy medium wet coat. I want to get enough material on the surface that it will lay down, and by that I mean eliminate the brush strokes, or virtually eliminate them. You can never get rid of all of them. Now this is, I am just barely touching the surface, just letting the little tiny brush hairs, super light. Now I will have to go around the edge and pick up the small amount of material that has formed on the edges. And this is kind of a tricky part because I first want to get the bulk of it off, and then I just quickly have to do another stroke on the top. I'm going to check my edge one more time here. Look at that. I have a piece of dust. Talk about ruin your day. Okay, I got it. Now we just need to keep this room dust free for about 2 hours.